Canine Chronicle, bringing you Table Talk Live. And I am here with Kim and Angela Booth, who I have not seen since the 13th of March when we exited the Louisville cluster.
We shared something.
And we spent a few minutes earlier counting how many months it's been since they've worked, I've worked, anybody's worked, and it's been too long. And it's really good to see you guys.
Well, it's good to see you too.
So you had your first weekend back, I believe, last weekend?
Yeah, up in Wisconsin at the Cudahy and Racine shows.
And, you know, there have been a few shows now, and show photographers are handling things a little bit differently due to the COVID guidelines. You know, taking photographs with a judge and an exhibitor, some people might frown upon. And as a result, I believe that you guys are being asked to do things much differently than you ever have, basically. So tell me about how is that affecting you? How was your show last weekend different than normal, shall we say?
Well, it was well run. They followed all the suggested guidelines with for safety, with masks and social distancing and the whole bit. Most of their rings were outdoors. They did have 3 indoor rings, but they had a limit of 100 people in the building.
Okay.
So for purposes of keeping the crowd in the building down, we did all the pictures outdoors until the storm hit. Then we had to go in for a little while at the end of 2 of the days.
Of course.
But, most of the time we were outdoors. We had a central location, and in the morning to help with the suggested guidelines of taking pictures of the judges so they wouldn't have to slow their day down by coming for pictures, and to reduce and minimize their exposure to other exhibitors. We did take their pictures in the morning to be added to the photos later.
Okay.
And they did come over when they had time, and when they did, everyone kept their masks on when they were too close together, that they should be wearing masks. And for the most part, it went well. Now, whoever made the suggestion to add all the judges to the pictures did not necessarily consult a lot of the photographers out here as far as the difficulty and the amount of work that would take. And so we've come up with our own solution for that. One of the things that they didn't consider was that everyone has different levels of skill in Photoshop. Not everyone is a Photoshop guru. And the amount of time it takes to Photoshop a judge into a picture in a complete Photoshop job so that it actually looks like they're in that photo, it takes a fair amount of time and work and talent. And different photographers have differing degrees of that talent. So rather than add an extra week or 2 to get people their pictures, which would be unacceptable to the people that want the pictures,
right,
and having judges look like they're floating in the air or having body parts missing, we've come
unacceptable.
We've come up with another solution. And the solution we came up with is also to try and minimize the cost, because the amount of time it would take to completely Photoshop judges in, you would have to be either paying someone to do that, which would add cost to the photos,
right,
or yourself, and that would add so much time, right, that it would be unacceptable. It would be old news. And so what we've done is we have created, what I do in the morning is I take the picture of the judge, like a portrait, from the chest up, and then we put that in a frame, and then we paste that frame into the photo. And that can be done speedily, so that it does not slow down very much how quickly the pictures are uploaded for people to get. And it actually does not look bad. I actually have a sample here that you can see. Right here, you can see the judges inserted in the upper left.
So you've got the sign that gives the win, and then the judge up in the right-hand corner.
Right, and we have the ribbons are actually displayed on a board at the bottom of the picture.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got the ribbons that the people won, and the judge is displayed in a frame up above. And it's pleasing. You know, it may not be everyone's cup of tea, but we're not going to charge people extra to do it because we're able to do it efficiently.
Right.
If you need the entire judge photoshopped in, it is possible for us to do that, but then we're going to have to charge for that because it takes a fair amount of time and talent for someone to do it, and they can't volunteer that.
Right.
And I think that dog show photos are expensive enough, along with all the other expenses of attending and exhibiting a show, that if we can do this and make it look good and not charge extra for it, I think we're actually offering something that hopefully people will like and appreciate.
Awesome. That's really good. Were people kind to you guys last weekend when you were shooting the show? Did you feel, were people short? Were they good? Were they happy to be there? Did you have any issues at all? No. Actually, people were very happy to see each other. They were extremely happy to see me. And I was extremely happy to see them. I know. Isn't it the truth?
We had one person wanted to come up and give me a hug, and I had to fend that person off because it's not safe at this point. I'd have loved to give the hug back. It's just that isn't necessarily staying within the dog show guidelines they've issued. And so, yeah, but no, it's very good to be back and see people and getting a little bit of normalcy back into life. It just has to be done carefully and within the guidelines because the problems with COVID-19 are real and people have been affected adversely by them. And, you know, the death toll is high, and so we have to be careful. But I think if we follow the guidelines and just use common sense, it can be done and done safely.
Yeah. Well, it's awesome that you guys have come up with an alternative for the pictures that, it enables people to get their pictures quickly, have the judge in the picture, not pay extra money. But of course, I know, you guys always aim to please. So you're willing to do the whole shebang if they want it. They want a judge and they want their ribbon. You're happy to do it.
Or if they don't like it with the judge in the frame, because it is different. And, it is not something we're used to, and it's not everybody's cup of tea. So we've had 1 or 2 people that have asked to not have the judge in. They would rather just have a picture of themselves and the dog. Then they don't like that, and that's fine. Then we can take that out. We saved a copy of everything before we did the work. So that's fine. We try and make everybody happy as much as is humanly possible.
Yeah.
But
personally,
overall,
I'd rather have the judge in, though, because without that judge, the win wouldn't have been achieved. I mean, that is the person that recognized the qualities in your dog to put you there.
Right.
So it is important to have that person in the picture.
Yeah.
And, the one other thing that we've done, I don't know if you noticed when I put that picture up to show you, but under the frame is a little banner with it says judge and the judge's name on it.
Well,
and that actually is kind of
more than you get. Under normal circumstances, there's no judge's name on the picture.
Exactly, and people don't necessarily remember who that is. And with this, you actually learn who your judge was if you didn't know before.
Or if you can't remember.
If you can't remember 10 years from now, when you look at the picture, the judge's name is right there, and I kind of like that myself.
Yeah, no kidding. When I moved, I looked at boxes and boxes and boxes of photographs, and the vast majority of those photographs, guess who took? But there were a couple I'm like, who is that person? Just don't remember. And of course, as the years go on, my memory might get a little worse. So let's talk about the positive. What have you guys been doing with yourselves while you're off on your coronacation?
Yeah, I've spent more time at home over the past 5 months than I think I have in my entire life since having been a teenager. Right. So I've done all kinds of things. I've kept the property up as far as the yard, and I've helped Angela with a garden, and Angela has actually become quite the chicken rancher.
Oh my gosh, let's not get into the chickens.
They're adorable.
Yeah. I never knew I could love chickens so much.
And oh my gosh,
everybody says. So now we have not only dogs, but we have our kitty and horses and chickens. So
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
It's a regular animal farm.
Yes.
I was going to say we better all go back to work before you guys have a zoo over there.
That could happen.
It
That
could
could-
happen. But
Yeah.
it's really good to see you guys. And I appreciate you just checking in with us. And I hope that I see you before next March in Louisville.
I hope so.
You know, I mean, we're, you know, it's all coming back. The last weekend of August, the weekend before Labor Day, if all goes as planned, there's actually 4 clusters that weekend.
Really?
Wyoming, Iowa, Ohio, and Oklahoma.
Wow.
That would be good. I hope they all go off, and I hope everything goes well and everybody has a good time and gets back to what they love doing.
Yeah, we just have to we have to maintain our vigilance so we can just keep it up.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Just do it carefully and stay safe so that everybody has no reason to shut us down.
Indeed. You guys, thanks for checking in, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Everybody else, I'm sure, looks forward to having you behind the camera as well. You guys, until next time.